Good morning, everyone, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to address you. My apologies that I'm unable to join you live. What a year we've had. It was just over 6 months ago when we had the first of our regional business engagement roundtables, when our primary goal was to find out face-to-face how businesses were faring and whether our support packages were making enough of a difference for business. Since then, we've had a further 2 rounds, one in July on ideas related to economic recovery, where I was heartened to see that changes had been made in time to make a real difference to businesses between one set of roundtables to the next. And then our most recent roundtable in October, where we asked for ideas on the green recovery and UK transition opportunities. And my goodness, I'm so glad we did, because they are really focusing the mind on the tangible progress we can make when we all work together. And I'd like to thank you all for the work you have put into making those roundtables possible. They have been extremely valuable, I would say invaluable to me, and I hope to you too. I want to talk to you a little about our priorities today for the coming year. You will no doubt have heard a good deal about green recovery from government recently. You will also no doubt have heard a good deal about UK transition, which is almost upon us. But I don't want you to think that we are only thinking of shorter term, if I can describe it like that, investment measures. As we've discussed, we also recognize the importance of R&D and its long-term potential to transform our economy. As you will have noticed, the Prime Minister has set out his ambitious 10-point plan for a green industrial revolution, and innovative and ambitious program of both job creation that will support levelling up and up to 250,000 jobs, but also clean energy, buildings, transport and nature and innovative technologies. The plan will mobilise £12 billion of government investment to create and support up to 250,000 highly skilled green jobs in the United Kingdom, and unlock 3 times as much private sector investment by 2030. Business and innovators will form the vanguard as we work to drive down carbon emissions, levelling up our country, and of course building back better so that the UK resides at the leading edge of the global economy for many years to come. In the coming years, we will set out further plans for reducing emissions across the economy and, of course, getting to that net zero figure by 2050. This is in parallel with action to adapt and build resilience to the effects of climate change that we are already experiencing. And I want to today reassure you that not only is the levelling up agenda heavily ingrained in the Prime Minister's 10-point plan for green recovery, it remains at the centre of our agenda, empowering our regions by devolving money, resources and control away from Westminster. The government is investing record amounts in Britain's roads, railway, broadband, housing and of course research. Over the next 5 years, the public sector will invest more than £500 billion, actually probably nearer 2/3 of a trillion, £640 billion. And by the end of the Parliament, net investment will be triple the average over the last 40 years in real terms. And these priorities were reinforced by the Chancellor's spending review last week, including announcements on the new £4 billion levelling up fund to invest in local infrastructure, and £220 million additional funding to support our communities prepare for the UK Shared Prosperity Fund. These sit alongside existing commitments to invest over £600 million of the Towns Fund next year and to establish around 10 free ports, with the successful bidders announced in the spring. Alongside this, the National Infrastructure Strategy confirmed that 8 city regions will benefit from £4.2 billion of government investment in 5-year funding settlements for local transport, starting in 22-23. We're now less than a month away from the end of the UK transition period on the 31st of December. My department is admirably supporting cross-government preparations, and we are making very good progress in delivering the secondary legislation required by the end of the transition period. However, there are a series of changes for which businesses need to prepare. It's very well understood that small businesses face the greatest challenge in preparing for UK transition. And although we have worked very hard to make the necessary support available, I'd really appreciate any assistance you could give in encouraging them to adopt that support and make any changes necessary if they have not already done so. All the information they will need can be easily found on the gov.uk website. I'd really ask you to encourage them to go on there and look at it. Lastly, I've personally enjoyed the discussions we've had on the exciting potential for economic growth through R&D. We've agreed a number of times that we are world-class at the R and should keep it that way, but that we also have extraordinary potential for growth if we can capture the benefits of the D. The R&D roadmap sets out our vision to attract global talent, cut unnecessary bureaucracy, and cement the UK as a world-leading science superpower. It also reaffirms the government's commitment to publishing an ambitious R&D place strategy, and we are seeking to do so in the coming months. Each of these priorities will flourish through good working relations between local business communities, universities and academic institutions, and of course civil society. It is this coordinated perspective that local enterprise partnerships have always represented, and which will remain crucial as we kickstart our economic recovery and continue to make progress towards levelling up. I want to finish by thanking you for all your support towards our economic recovery in your local regions, and of course, despite all the challenges we have faced in recent months. Well done for the great work you are doing.